Welcome you guys to another episode of Inside the Red Zone. I am your host, MJ, and this is my co-host, Mir. Mir, how we feeling on this Monday evening?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We here to talk about a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend and going forward soon. Going forward in the next few months, we're gonna be talking about the releases the Miami Dolphins made over the past few hours, literally today, and then we're gonna talk about All Star Game this weekend. What tweaks, and what criticisms we have for that. I kind of have a lot of criticisms for that, and then we'll be deep diving into the NFL draft regarding the Dallas Cowboys. Who do we need to pick up? Why we need to pick them up? And how are they going to affect positively our defense, our offense, and even our special teams? So let's get right into it. Earlier today, around I'll say noon-ish, the Miami Dolphins not only released their star wide receiver Tyreek Hill, they received their linebacker Bradley Chubb. Tamir, what's next for these two individuals, and where do you see them headed, especially now the offseason has officially begun?
Well, Tyreek, his situation is a little more difficult because obviously his injury is going to affect if he plays ever again in the NFL. And if he does, is he going to be the same or somewhat the same as he was before the injury? So that one's a little more difficult. I could see him probably going home if he doesn't. If he doesn't go to Tampa, so I guess stay home. If he doesn't go to Tampa, I could see him in Baltimore. Team him up with multiple of it, more Florida teammates he know has a connection with other people. I mean, has a connection with him through the state. And Bradley Chubb, he produced even he produced even with the bad Miami situation. You know how bad that situation was. It was all over the place. They had stars like Minka Fitzpatrick, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Waddle not playing to the best. They only Devon Achane was the bright spot on that team. So I really see Bradley Chubb being a target for anybody who needs a defensive end because he still perform, he still produces. Like we was talking, he could go to Denver. I don't really think so. They already got too many stars in Denver, and like you said, they got to pay Bo Nix. So that's just how I feel about it. I do want to say he could end up for a cheaper option instead of Max Crosby or Trey Henderson for the boys. But as long as he doesn't go to a division rival, I'm chilling. Or the Niners. Or the Packers.
I'll definitely say for Tyreek and my pops, he gave a good analysis on this earlier as well. Like when I talked to him, when I brought him up to speed on the whole thing. He did say that Tyreek Hill can go to Baltimore low key. When I thought about that, realistically, yeah, money. But if my thing is, if he's signing long term, then if he's signing long term, then I will say he'll probably stay in like a safe spot. Maybe go stay in the AFC. Maybe go to the AFC North, maybe AFC South, or heck, just maybe stay in the division and probably go to the New England Patriots, or even Buffalo Bills. Not up to me.
I was just about to say
Um,
Buffalo.
or Buffalo, yeah, or even Buffalo. Uh, but it depends. Like you said, like because he just got off an injury. He remember he broke his knee, tore his ACL. So it's one of those things. Whereas, it's hit or miss. Because like I said, I think if he does go to Kansas City, that is the worst situation you guys can have. We can have only because he could be a mentor to Xavier Worthy. He could be really a mentor to Xavier Worthy. Um, he really could be a mentor to Xavier Worthy. Plus Rasheed Rice. And mind you, Travis Kelsey's on his way out the door. It's what, February 16th, and he still hasn't announced his retirement. That so I'm assuming he's probably staying for one more season. Either a
Yeah.
few he's gonna sign for another one more season, or man, I don't know. And then mind you, you have that defensive mind in Spags. And mind you, they just got their former offensive coordinator back. They just got oh
Eric
my gosh,
Bellamy, I
what
think.
was his name?
Eric, it
Yeah,
was
the enemy,
something.
the enemy. Be
The
enemy.
enemy.
Yeah, be enemy. Yeah, yeah, he's bro. They just got him back. So imagine if Tyreek goes to Imagine if Tyreek does go to Miami. Imagine not Miami. If you go back to Kansas City, if you go back to Kansas City, and mind you, Patrick Mahomes is getting back to peak form. I wouldn't say peak form, but I'll just say he's getting back to his regular self after that injury because I think he did not like sitting on the couch in the playoffs. I don't think he liked that, and it's not being in the Super Bowl. I don't think he liked that. But as far as Bradley Chubb goes, I thought about this. I low key thought about this. He could end up in Washington. He can end up in Washington, honestly. Um, because Washington, their defense is a five. Is the defense is okay. It's not the best in the league, but you need rushers.
Yeah.
Um, they need rushers, and I feel as though Bradley Chubb, he still can be that. Now he's still an elite rusher, but he fits in when necessary with that Washington squad. You can either take his talents to oh my gosh, I Holly just told my dad earlier. He could probably take his talents to oh my gosh, not Washington. He could take his talents to oh my gosh, Tampa Bay. He could Levante David. Yeah, that could suffice. He could take his talents to Tampa Bay. I think he can, in my personal opinion. Especially how that defense is run by Todd Bowles. I think he can. I really think he can. Um but yeah, honestly, that's all I have to say about that. I think Miami's in a rebuilding phase, to be quite honest with
Yeah,
you.
for sure. For sure.
Um Miami is definitely in a rebuilding phase, whereas I think they're gonna get rid of Tua. I think that because they released Tyreek and that got what over 22 million cash because he was an unrestricted free agent. So I think that when you boil it all down, I think they're getting back to rebuilding phase. So they keep their main men in Tua and Jalen Waddle. So I don't know what this team looks like next season. I really do not know what this team looks like, but it looks like they're in a rebuilding phase, and it looks like they're going to probably make some moves in the draft, which we'll get to later. Uh, Next up, you guys, you go talk about the All Star game and how that went over the weekend. We had our shooting stars competition, our 3 point competition, the slam dunk competition, and then we had the official All Star game. Whereas Anthony Edwards of USA Stars won All Star Game MVP. Now, it was different this year in multiple facets. It wasn't on TNT with Inside the NBA. It was NBC. It was on NBC. So that was one difference. Another difference is we didn't have a skills competition. It was a shooting stars competition. Whereas you had Team Ron Harper. You had hold up. Oh my gosh, I just had it. You had Team Ron Harper. You know what? I'll look it up later. But it was between three teams, and I believe Team Ron Harper, Team One. Look that up for me, Tamir, if you can. Uh,
I got you.
but it was definitely different. But the one thing I will definitely say, the one thing I'll definitely say, which in my personal opinion, it needs to either change or they need to get rid of entirely, is a Sam Dunk competition. For the past even if we're going that far back, I firmly believe when Matt McClung won back to back to back, that's when it started to die down. Yeah, Team Knicks, the winner was Jalen Brunson, Carl Anthony Towns, Allen Houston led the legend. Team Cameron, and then you had Team Harper, which I previously talked about. Um, but with the Sam Dunk competition, it, it doesn't have that same feel like it did a few years ago. I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, so my opinion as a journalist, I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, but it doesn't feel the same because it feels as though everything is just a high for a highlight. They're not doing it for the love of it. That's what it feels like. I could be wrong, Uh, I firmly don't understand where I really don't understand how this is happening with them, to be honest, or what was going on. But it doesn't feel like what we saw with Zach Levine and Aaron Gordon. It doesn't give that, it doesn't really have that feel no more to it, especially since Zach Levine said he's or might be wrong, Aaron Gordon said he was done with the All-Star game. Um it just doesn't feel right. I'll be sorry, it doesn't feel right. I don't know if it's just me, Tabir, or yeah. Give me your take on that.
I feel like the dunk contest got to be replaced with like a king of the court, like some type of 1v1 type of situation,
Mm-hmm.
and let the fans choose who participates in that dunk contest. I feel like what dunks can you do that we haven't seen? We basically have seen it all. I feel like some of the guys that get selected into the dunk contest aren't athletic enough to really beat her. Like we had Jackson Hayes barely jumping for he didn't even jump. He jumped in the middle of the paint to the basic dunk he's doing all his life in the game. Like these guys have no more creativity. It's just like it's a boring situation. And it's not like the 3 point contest where you could always set a record. Like it's always going to be something there that you could do possibly. These guys have nothing to really work for. It's just a It's just a check for them. It's just an extra check for them.
Exactly. And honestly, I don't get when people say, "Oh, LeBron won the dunk contest." I don't get that in a sense. Whereas he's trying now. God forbid you injure yourself, because after All Star break is the push to the NBA playoffs, which happens not too far along, because you have what, a month and a half left of the NBA season, and you're trying to preserve your body. There's probably a lot of people who Adam Silver asked to be in a dunk competition, and they said no out of respect, because they don't want to get a season-ending injury, or they just don't want to end up on the rest for the rest of the season. They don't want to be on a shelf for the rest of the season, knowing that their team could have made a playoff run, because all 32 teams have a chance, because you have the play-in tournament and then you got the actual NBA playoffs. So you have two times to make the playoffs during the regular season and during the play-in tournament for those for those seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th teams. You have two times to make the playoffs during no time. So
Yeah.
I feel as though teams want to make sure like they have a definite, whereas we don't have to worry about this guy getting injured at All Star game, and that's why I feel as though the only person who really took it serious yesterday was Wemby from the highlights I saw. Wemby winning, because he was like, he was really mad that the world didn't win yesterday, because the world could have won. I thought the world was gonna blow USA out. I am not gonna lie to you. I am
I
not
thought
gonna lie.
so
I
too.
thought if I think if Shy wasn't hurt, I'm not saying one guy. I'm not saying if it's just one guy. I don't think if SGA was hurt, I don't think that the world would have lost. But they that's the thing though. They didn't lose by that much, but they lost like within one score. They lost literally by either a layup or by a 3 pointer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's not like the world was like they're like just scrubs off a boat. They lost, but they lost with like dignity. That's the thing. And then Kawhi over here putting up 31 during the All Star game, which I don't know why bro is not doing during the regular season. I don't get that. I don't get that, especially from now me starting betting. I don't get why he doesn't do that. And I forgot, my fault. It was in L.A. It was in L.A. That's why he dropped 31. That's exactly
Yeah.
why he dropped 31. So yeah, those are our thoughts when it comes to the All Star game over the weekend. Oh, shout out Dame for winning a 3 point contest. I heard next year is going to be, because Steph already included himself in next year's 3 point competition. So Steph's going to be a 3 point competition next year. D Book, um, Dame, I believe, is coming back to defend the title. But yeah, Dame, shout out to Dame for winning the 3 point contest yesterday. And yeah, we'll get into the more right now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We're kind of novices on the NBA season so far. We're gonna do our research going forward, because the
Yeah,
NBA playoffs
I'm
right now
really just
are super.
freestyling right now.
Exactly. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We gonna tighten up for y'all. We just
Yeah,
not
we
getting
gonna
into the NBA season.
yeah, because I did some research, but not all the lot I wanted to. So give us a month. We'll be caught up. We'll be caught up. And plus, in addition, LeBron is not eligible for in season awards no more, because he missed the 21 game threshold. So that's a different story for another day though. So as the
One more
draft
thing.
grows near, Whoa, what's up?
Kevin Durant, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. When you go back to Houston, it's going to Jordan. Oh, we not even gonna talk about Jordan. He know what he
Le-
we that's a whole different
LeBron,
situation. Braun,
LeBron,
Curry, it's
bro,
NBA
what we,
yesterday,
Bron,
Sunday, February. What was it? What was it? The 16th? Yeah, no,
Fe-
February the
Fe-
15th was
Bron,
probably the greatest day on NBA Twitter. I woke up and saw Kevin
Bron,
Durant. What they say? He was his burner got leaked. Funniest thread of my life. Y'all gotta go do y'all research on that.
Bron,
Braun,
Bron.
Braun got baited into saying something he probably shouldn't have been saying. Curry, same thing. Michael, I don't even know what Jordan was thinking. We gonna move on from that. Next thing we want to talk about is the draft, a mock draft, especially for the Cowboys, and why we think we should pick up these players. I'm gonna go ahead and go first. If I could share my screen real quick, I'm gonna go ahead.
Coming up on our end, we have a huge, very huge draft combine when it comes to us. Not combine, but draft class, especially on defense, since we need it insanely this year. Uh,
Yeah,
I got you. All right,
yeah.
so let's add this bad boy to the stage.
All right. As we see,
So
Sonny Styles went 8. That's a shock. You didn't really expect that. Him to the Saints. eh, that's weird. It's extremely weird. They got the Giants
very
picking up
tricky.
Caleb Downs. 3. I was want to put that out. We almost have 4
You have
Ohio State.
Jeremiah Love. Ooh, you got it.
That's just not me.
Jeremiah
That's
Love.
the AI.
This is an AI.
That's what they picked. That's what the AI picked.
That is
So
what features say that is an AI.
yeah, we got Fernando Mendoza going number 1. Everybody in America knows that's going to happen. We don't even got to think twice about that. Ruben Bain, it's weird because it's either he's number 2 or he's down here in number 8 or number 9 range. So it's either he's going to be a
Exactly.
top 3 pick or a top 10 pick. Either way, he's getting paid. This is crazy. David Bailey at 3. That's the first time I've seen that. And then 3 Ohio State players off the board back to back to back. We got Carnell Tate to the Titans. That's where I really got Arvell Reese going. In my personal one, I got Arvell Reese going to the Titans. I got Carnell Tate going to the Giants. And I got Caleb Downs really landing in New Orleans or Washington. That's where I got him landed. Jeremiah Love to
I
Washington. That's weird.
that
I
is
don't even know
that.
what to say for that. I'm
So you're
looking at
telling
it
me
now.
you're gonna replace Crosby Merritt? You have
He
Crosby
just got.
Merritt and you have Austin Eckler. You don't.
Well, we're not worried about Austin Eckler. He's old, like super old,
Oh,
brittle
I
bones.
am. I kind of am worried about Washington, only because they are coming back with a healthy squad. If their squad remains healthy, because remember what they did that first season. So my thing is, I'm not sleeping on them in no way, shape, or form. They just had a lot of injuries this year, as well as Kansas City, as well as the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm not sleeping on those three teams in on Baltimore as well. I'm not in on the Buccaneers. I'm not sleeping on any of these teams only because they had a either t- they had
Just injuries.
either injuries. That's it. That was
But
mainly it.
my but
Injuries.
my thing is though, I don't see Jeremiah Love going to the Washington Commanders. They need defense. They had a bad defense this year, and that's coming from us, Cowboys fans. We know what a bad defense looks like. Washington had a bad defense, so they need defense. I don't really see Jeremiah Love going there. We probably know where he's going to end up, which is Kansas City, and we just got to deal with
Cause
that.
I will say this. I will say this though. I will say this. If the if nobody picks Jeremiah Love in the top 10 picks, because realistically speaking, Saints don't really need a quarterback or running back. Washington don't need a running back. Cleveland looks like they found their franchise running back. The Giants
Ali
have
Gordon,
Scatterboo. Mm-hmm.
yeah, Scott.
Tennessee
Uh,
Tennessee Titans have Pollard. Cardinals have James
eh,
Conner, which is injury prone. The
yeah.
the
So
Jets though, that's the thing though. That's the thing. That's the one thing I'm skeptical about is the Jets.
Do you think the Jets are going to
Cause
make the smart decision here? I don't really think so. I feel like they're going to try to get creative and pick somebody you wouldn't expect, and then they backfire. And we're just looking at them like, what did you expect? So Jeremiah Love could end up in New York somehow, some way. And if that happens, don't be surprised. Like the Jets have made countless stupid decisions in the past. What really surprised me though was Sonny Styles going top 10. And then the Makai Lemon going top 10 right after him. That was just surprising to me. I really got Jeremiah Love going to the Chiefs and Sonny Styles landing to us in Dallas, or Mansour Delane landing us in Dallas. But I do wonder why Baltimore. This is computer, by the way. This isn't user picked. Why they picked the edge instead of Jordan Tyson, who went right after, like right immediately right after. This is like a Taco Charlton and then TJ Watt type of situation. But hopefully, if they did pick up this edge, he will produce. But at the end of the day, you gotta worry about keeping Lamar happy. Maybe the computer signs Tyreek Hill in the simulation, and then he's healthy and whatever. We don't know what they're thinking, but you gotta pick up a receiver. You got to. If I'm Baltimore, there's no other position I'm worried about but wide receiver. You need a wide receiver. So this edge pick is a F plus, a F minus if I could pick it. Not saying Kendrick Fullick is a bad player. I'm just saying that's not the team he deserves to be on. The Patriots picking up a tackle makes a lot of sense. Will Campbell had the worst game in his career, and he was quote unquote injured. I don't really believe that one. That's something else I noticed. Uh, and then and then I really was surprised to see Mansour Delane. It's not a lot of. I've done a couple of mock drafts where Mansour Delane has gone before the Cowboys. It's not a lot though. So him going to the Dolphins surprised me, but Jamar McCoy, if we had to choose between him and let's say Mansour goes before him and Sonny Styles is still on the board, so we got to choose between Jamar McCoy and Sonny Styles. Pick up Sonny Styles. Jamar McCoy did not play last year. He was hurt. I don't know what the injury was. He did not play the whole season, and I do not like when the Cowboys pick up injured players during the draft and then throw them straight into the fire as soon as they get healthy. We did that with Siobhan Revel. And in my opinion, he did not do that bad. He did not do too badly for the situation I was around him. I think he's gonna blossom next season or the next coming seasons. But what's his name? Christian Baker, Christian something. But for the Cowboys' second pick, I got us picking up Caden McDonald from the Ohio State University, another dog. All it's literally one. It's like most of the key defensive players you want to pick up this year comes from Ohio State. So Caden McDonald, he's an interior D lineman, but I feel like he's athletic enough to go play the edge if we need him to be. And in past situations, we could take out Kenny Clark and put him in and have Quentin Williams, or we could take out Quentin Williams if he's tired and put him in. He could be a key rotational piece, or he could learn under Kenny Clark, or he could learn under Quentin Williams, and then he develops into a star and be better than both of them. But I feel like we could do something with the edge. But at the end of the day, the best case scenario, Caleb Downs falls to Dallas, but I think America knows that's not going to happen. So the most realistic situation is we pick up Sonny Styles with the 12 or Mansour Delane, but I would rather Sonny Styles because he's a linebacker that could literally do it all. And in my personal opinion, Sonny Styles is better than Arvell Reese at the linebacker position. If we talk about pure athleticism, Arvell Reese is probably the most athletic player in this draft right now or in the first round. Let me not say the draft. It might be some freaks in the later rounds that we don't know about, some superheroes. But Arvell Reese, right now in the first round, he's probably the gem of the selection. Just because he's 6'4", 240, running a 4.4. He could play the edge. He could play linebacker. He could play anywhere you need him to be. He could be on the line. He could do that. So whoever team gets him, that's gonna be the Swiss Army knife, and he's gonna get a big contract when it comes to be. But that's just how I feel about the draft. This was my mock draft.
W mock job, and I'll be sure to upload to you guys. So if you guys have any notes, you guys definitely comment in the comment section. Uh, for me, because I looked at the that's why I had a lot of questions. But then you said AI, I'm like that kind of makes sense because Dallas, we should have learned our lesson from before for drafting somebody who's injured. We should have learned our lesson, but I wouldn't be. That's the thing. I'm not mad at the pick. I just wish that we put a lot more. If we do make this pick, then okay, we got this pick. We have to stick by it, I guess. But I'd rather us think about it because my thing is Jared McCoy is there, and then you got Peter Woods out of Clemson. And Peter Woods, that's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick, honestly, because he can match up with Kenny Clark. He can match up with Quentin Williams. He
Quentin
can match up
Williams.
with all. He can match up with all of them. But I, if that were to happen, I'm not mad. I just hope we know what we're doing with that pick. I just pray and hope we know what we're doing if we make this pick because then you have because that's the thing. The dream is Caleb Downs. The dream is Arvell Reese. The dream is Sonny Styles. Those are the three dreams. Those are quite possibles. But and mind you, three Ohio State receivers are potentially going literally no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe six. Like we have about maybe 6 to 5 to 6 Ohio State players going in the first round. So it's going to predominantly be an Ohio State draft. So my thing is, if we don't get Jared McCoy and or on Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles are gone, and Mansour Delane they're gone. The dream, if we, because my thing is the closest thing to Jeremiah McCoy that we can compare to in this draft is Avion Terrell. That's the closest thing.
That wouldn't
But if
be
we
a
go
bad pick at all.
that's not a bad pick. If we go Avion Terrell, that's not a bad pick because both cornerback, obviously, even though have two entirely different skill sets on the defense, we need different this year. We need different because once we have different and our new defensive coordinator knows what he's because as of right now he knows he's working with a defense. He knows the defense is right now subpar. But if we could get new and we could get different and he could be a breakout, we're balling. We essentially we're balling. But and then mind you, you have two picks. So thank God we have two picks. So obviously we're probably have to go interior. So Caden McDonald might have to be the pick or TJ Parker. Because if we can get TJ Parker, if we could develop TJ Parker in the defensive lineman, if we could develop there as well, instead of just being an outside back,
You
if
know
we could
what?
develop,
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going. My fault.
no. Go ahead, go.
Another linebacker I like is CJ Allen. He could probably land to us at that 20th pick too. If we could pick up Mansour Delane or Sonny Styles. Let's say Sonny Styles was off the board, but Mansour Delane or Jamal McCoy is not off the board.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Allen is also a very good linebacker. He's a prototypical linebacker. He's going to get the job done for you. He's going to be a great leader for the defense. And mind you, we still have Overshown, and we're probably going to cut Logan Wilson. So with Overshown being our Swiss Army knife, I could realistically see the Cowboys drafting two linebackers in this first round, back to back.
Mm-hmm.
If we get Sonny Styles, like if the people at home don't know, Sonny Styles used to play safety. Not saying we're going to transfer him back to safety, but he could play. He's going to be that that pass coverage guy, that sort of like a Swiss Army knife. He could do a lot for the defense. He's not going to be able to do it all. We're not going to put him on the line like you would do someone like Arvell Reese or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, we could possibly pick up two. Oh, he could play. He could probably play in the. He probably play in the slot a little bit. Maybe depending on how fast he is. He didn't really give off blazing speed for what I saw in the few highlights I saw. I don't watch college football like that. I just go off the highlights and break down what I see. So if you know something I don't, let me know in the comments. But like I see from Sonny Styles, he got that pass coverage that we need. We desperately need that. Hence why we're trying to get cornerbacks and linebackers, because the D-line, contrary to popular belief, our D-line is not that bad. If we're being honest, we're above middle of the pack when it comes to D-line.
Especially towards
because
the
what's his name?
last year.
We got Kenny Clark. We got Quinn Williams. What's that linebacker? Ezraku. He was a start. That rookie, top. If you do your homework, I think he was top 10, top 5 in the league for pressure. He's actually pretty nice. He just couldn't finish sacks. Jadeveon Clowney could be a key rotation piece. And the next year we got another.
Yep.
I think we got 2 first round picks, or not. We just got the 1 first round pick. I think we traded it for what's his name? Quinn Williams. So next year we can pick up an edge if we need it. But our D line isn't that bad. We just need linebackers and corners. And with that being said, Christian Baker or whatever your name, Christian Parker, Christian Baker, Christian something. I'm putting my trust in you. If Jerry Jones isn't a paraplegic, I saw this on Twitter. If I could find it, I'm gonna send it to you, and you could put it up on the Instagram and all that. The Cowboys have the opportunity to clear up the most, not one of the most, the literal most amount of cap space with restructuring contracts and simple cuts this year. We could have, I think, above $120 million in cap space with just simple restructures. You know what we could do with $120 million? A lot. And it's a lot of good free agents coming out. Tariq Woolen, Devon Witherspoon. Seattle's probably going to retain one of those guys. We can't expect Seattle to lose every single body, but we could pick up Reed Blankenship. We could pick up a lot of guys that's coming into this free agency. And if we do that before the draft, we could just get the guys we need in the draft because now we got these stars on long-term contracts. Now we don't got to worry about certain things. And then the NFL cap space apparently, it looks like it's going to keep going up and up and up. Because hate to break it to you, NBA fans, we're the better sport. Just gotta put it to you. That might start some debates. The stats prove it. The stats prove it. We're not gonna start it, but the stats do prove that we are the better sport. You could cry about it. I don't care.
Hey, I mean, you're not lying on that. Honestly, those are the facts you just put up. And I want to get back to the Seattle Seahawks before we close out. I do want to talk about the Seattle Seahawks and their cap space because they got to pay a lot of players. I like I said, I honestly believe they'll tag K9, and I think they'll probably play JSN. They're probably gonna keep Tariq Woolen. Um, but my thing is, they're probably gonna want to keep. They're probably gonna want to keep that Super Bowl squad. They're probably going to keep because, mind you, it's not like because what AJ Brown said last year in the offseason, that Lombardi ain't loyal. There's no
Yeah.
guaranteed. There's no guarantee that you're going to be back there next year. We saw what happened to the Philadelphia Eagles, how they crumbled.
Oh,
We saw
whoa,
that.
The Camden Pigeons.
My fault, Camden
Let's
Pigeons.
let's
We saw
let's
how
not give them too
we
much
saw
respect.
how exactly we saw they crumbled. We saw how we saw the Kansas City Chiefs got ruffled with injuries. I mean, like especially with how you were pushing yourself in the National Football League, your body isn't meant to be pushed like that for a long period of time. Granted, Tom Brady took care of his body and his mental, and he went to back Super Bowls. But at some point, you're gonna fall off the derivative cliff. You're going to fall off of the proverbial cliff. Excuse me. So it's one of those things. Whereas you try to keep the players you can keep, and sacrifice is going to be made, and you have to make up in the playoffs. And I just want to shout out Adam B. He did say that they're going to have to give up some players, but the good thing about the Seattle Seahawks is they draft well. And shout out to Adam for saying that too,
Super
because
well.
they do draft well. So it's not like they're just gonna go into the draft. Oh, he. They're gonna come in with a chip on their shoulder, like, yeah, we're defending champions. However, though, we still got a draft. We still got work to do. We even Sam Donald said this not what this the Super Bowl was not his best game. Speaking of him who did get MVP, it was K9. He said there's a lot more work to be done. That's a sign of a humble franchise. They realize they have two. They only have 2 rings, and each of them were like 10 years apart.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Whereas they remember, they know that, oh yeah, just cause we won the Super Bowl, we gotta get back to it tomorrow. It's a non-ending cycle. You got the draft. No, after Super Bowl, you have off season. After off season, you have the draft. After draft, you have preseason. After preseason, you got football. Football, playoffs, Super Bowl. It's a never-ending cycle. It just keeps the NFL is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365-day schedule, and we see it the most during the off season. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this episode, tell us in the comments, where do you guys see the Dallas Cowboys picking up, or where do you guys see your favorite teams picking up in the NFL draft this year? Who is the sleeper pick of the draft for you guys, and who's gonna show out? Who's gonna be a bust? A lot of questions to be asked before April and the whole NFL draft starts. I can confirm for you guys that I will be in Pittsburgh for the draft. Mir, I will get back to you on that. But
Yeah,
as of right now, I know I'm going to be there for the draft in Pittsburgh come April. So you guys, if any fans of ITR, please do not be afraid to pull up, because we're going to obviously be asking questions. We're obviously going to be with the crowd, asking them their thoughts on certain picks, who they think they're going to draft. So we're probably going to do a live segment from there. Hopefully we have the tools necessary to do that. So hopefully we get a chance to do that. All right, you guys. Just want to say thank y'all for the continued support. Thank you guys for just a never ending, just thank you guys. Just I don't nothing to be specific about. Just thank y'all. And shout out to Nate Burleson as well. Shout out to Nate Burleson. Thank you for following our Instagram. Much appreciated. But yeah, that's it, you guys. We love you guys. Keep on subscribing. Keep on liking. Keep on reposting, because reposting has definitely got us to where we are at today. And keep on sharing as well. Keep sharing. Drop a like. Drop a comment. Follow the Instagram. ITR with MJ and Mir. Follow the TikTok ITR with MJ and Mir, and follow the YouTube at Inside the Red Zone. All right, y'all. This has been Inside the Red Zone with MJ and Mir. Peace.